I'm here with John-Paul Treen from Too Much Games. I keep wanting to say too many games, but it's Too Much Games, isn't it? Too Much Games. And you're demoing Next England Captain, which you've currently got on Kickstarter. Very quickly tell us about the game.
Next England Captain is a 2 to 4 player game for anyone who's ever failed to earn millions kicking things really well. When it comes down to it, the game is a way of building stories about footballers' lives. You have 6 types of card, and you place them around a playing mat over 5 career moves. If you don't like the cards in your hand, you may discard, but you will be forced to play a card from the top of the deck, which may result in a drastic change of fortune. The game is quick, it takes between 15 and 20 minutes, and I like to think it's a really fun take on the completely overblown world of the modern celebrity footballer.
How long has this game been in development? Because you've just launched Kickstarter, and you've got everything good to go here. It looks like you're in a very good stead. But is this a new, relatively new concept, or have you been working on this a while?
I believe that when you bring something to Kickstarter, it has to be the finished product. And a friend of mine, another games designer, Andy Hopwood, he always says that when a game's done, it's done. This game has taken about 18 months to bring from scrawled paper prototypes written on cards to this finished product. And the main reason that happened was because after we scrawled them, we looked at the clock. It was 3 hours later, and we had all these sort of dirty, overplaned business card type things, and we thought, hang on, wait, this might be a good game if we've obsessively played it just after making it. Because I don't know if you've ever made a game, but normally you get to about 3/4 of the way through your first process when you're throwing all the ideas into a game, and you're suddenly so bored of it and so horrified and so terrified of what you've done that you just have to turn away for a little bit and come back to it a little bit later. But with this one, it was compulsive right from the word go. And I hope, and everything I've tried to do has been to try and keep this true, I hope I've tried to keep most of that spirit alive in this. Because I had something 18 months ago, and I hope I've managed to keep it.
Is this your first foray into Kickstarter? Am I right in thinking this is your first one? So what's this experience of being a Kickstarter like?
Absolutely terrifying. It's been really good. I wanted to make Next England Captain as a Kickstarter because I wanted to produce the game at a fair price, and I wanted to have it available during the World Cup. Because I thought it would be fun, really. And I made that decision back in January, and I've been working pretty hard for the last 6 months. I mean, 6 months ago, it was still in the sort of slightly tatty, printed out on homemade business cards type look. And, well, I hope you'll agree. I think so. And you can look at the website. It's come a long way since then. We've had professional graphic design done, we've taken some photos, we've done a lot of work, we've introduced player mats, we've got a box designed. It's unbelievable, the change it's been through. And as a result, I think, my experience of this Kickstarter has been preparing for it. It's been completely mental. And I don't think I've got everything done. I'm quite sure I haven't done the right things. You look on the internet, you Google how to make the perfect Kickstarter, or even how to make a barely adequate Kickstarter a couple of months later. And you see all of these rules. I mean, I read somewhere that you have to be emailing 50 to 100 people a day for the 3 months before the Kickstarter. I don't know 100 people. I do know 100 people, but you know what I mean. It's the promotion and the ground game is where I believe most first-time Kickstarters fall down. And I can't say I've avoided that, because I think when you do a Kickstarter for the first time, you're so hung up on making the game right. You're so hung up on getting those rules right, making sure the cards are there, making sure there isn't something that you're going to get a month after the Kickstarter and then think, oh wait, there's still 2 months worth of work to do on this. It's not half as done as I thought. And you got back as expecting a game, and you start disappointing people, and you start tearing your hair out. That's something that I really, really didn't want. And if that means that my Kickstarter will be less successful, I'd be far happier to produce a great game on time than to have lots and lots of money, or even actually succeed at all. Really, I'd rather fail with something great than succeed with something okay. You know?
Yeah, that makes sensible. So what are you planning with regard to things like stretch goals or anything like that? Or are you just going for, are you any Kickstarter add-ons or bonuses for Kickstarter backers? Or are you just going for a kind of more vanilla campaign?
Right. The most important thing that I think... Okay, I'll start again. What matters to me with a Kickstarter campaign is that the backers get something that you don't get if you bought it in a shop a year later. And so if you see a game up there and you have to pledge £50 to buy it, and then you see it in a shop for £45 a year later, you think, whoa, this is now a real thing, so I know it's there, I'm not buying a risk anymore, it's cheaper, and I didn't get it any earlier anyway because it's been shipped from China, mine only arrived last week. And you get some horror stories of the game not arriving at all, and then it appearing cheaper than the reward level in the shop. I didn't want that, and that's why I wanted to make the game £12. Because that's the most important thing for me, was to make the affordable game that I thought would bring the game out to as many people as possible. And I've kind of got lost, and I've kind of forgotten your original question. I'm sorry.
I was just asking if you planned kind of stretch goals.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, are you having any extra add-ons? So you're having special cards or special characters, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we do. We've got a couple of add-ons, like a relatively inexpensive captain's armband. There's a T-shirt that appears on the cards, Why Always Him, which a football fan will know is a sort of a rip-off of the Mario Balotelli Why Always Me thing. And I've done a blog post about that as well, but that's by the by. We've got some really nice higher-level tiers, and I don't know, I really, really hope that someone's going to take a couple of them. There's one where I've done wedding photography professionally, and I still do photography professionally. And one of the reward tiers is I will stalk you for a day, take an unflattering photograph of you, and place it on the Your Agent is Banned card. So you will be the banned agent. And obviously, I'll have to get approval from you on the unflattering photo that I take. So people who are excessively vain need not apply, unfortunately. But at the same time, I think it's a bit of fun. And my high-level rewards are a little bit in that vein. I've been told off for doing that by a lot of people. So it's best practice to charge people a lot of money and they get a more special game. Without doing another 6 months' work, I can't think of a way to actually make it that much better or that much more special without just saying, oh, I'll make another 5 cards, I'll charge people another 20 quid. That doesn't seem right. This is the game. I think it's a great game. And if people are going to pay more, I'd like them to get a lot more. I'd like them to get something unique. And I think that's a bad financial strategy, but I'd like to make people happy, or at least try to. I've also got, on the cards, loads of Kickstarter rewards. For instance, there are quotes on some of the cards. Some of them I like to think are pithy, some of them are just observant. And the names that you can attribute to the quotes. You basically put your name to a silly quote in the game. The lower reward tier is putting your name to a random quote, which is a bit like being mildly famous, where the sort of Daily Mail will pick something someone said and apply it to someone else for maximum effect. You can pay a little bit more, and you can be an A-list celebrity, and you can actually get the quote that you want. There's one tier where you get to name the club of your choice, and so a team can be in the game. Obviously, it can't be a real team unless you own it. I don't want to be restrictive, but yeah, there are lots of fun things like that. As for stretch goals, I have plans, but until you fund or until you get near to funding, it's a little bit presumptuous, really. I just want to make this game, and any stretch goals, such as they are just to make the game even better. They're not adding a huge amount of crazy stuff. It would be, if they were to be activated, just things like making the mats out of board instead of normal playing mat. And the cards are already premium because it's a game where you get a lot of card play, and so they're going to be nice, heavy premium cards. The components are already wooden. The box is the right size. It's already at a good price. I don't know. Maybe I've over-engineered it, but I like to think that if the campaign succeeds and people get something through their door in about 6-9 months' time, I think they'll already think it's a quality product. And that's what I wanted.
Well, thanks very much for that. Your Kickstarter is running from which date?
Right, the Kickstarter started today, so I was crazy busy in the morning, and it will end on the 11th of July, just between the semi-final of the World Cup and the third and fourth place playoff.
And if you want to know anything else about your games, Too Much Games, where can we find your stuff?
Right, you can go to www.toomuchgames.co.uk. I've got some other games up there. There's a print and play out there at the moment for a game called Catfight, which has got some great art by the awesome artist Becky Armstrong. We've got some rundowns of some other games, and we've got links to the Next England Captain Kickstarter. Apart from that, there's my games blog, which I sometimes more regularly than others update with my random thoughts on gaming and updates to things that I'm doing or projects I've seen that I find fun.
Excellent. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.